I've seen my share of entitled defendants step into a courtroom, but nothing quite compared to the morning Alexandra Whitmore walked in, dressed in an outfit worth more than most people earn in half a year. It wasn't just confidence she carried. It was arrogance, the kind that tightens your jaw before a single word is spoken. And when she finally did speak, the tone was so dismissive, so laced with contempt, I knew instantly this case would be one people would remember. What unfolded over the next 40 minutes would change her life completely and make one thing clear. In my courtroom, money holds no power. The file before me was simple on the surface. Alexandra Whitmore, 24 years old, charged with reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident and obstruction of justice. She had rear-ended a minivan at a red light, causing serious damage. When the driver stepped out to exchange details, Alexandra laughed, insulted the vehicle, and drove away. The entire incident had been captured on traffic cameras, a straightforward case, but there was more to it. Alexandra's father, Richard Whitmore, was the CEO of Whitmore Technologies, with a net worth estimated at $2.3 billion. The family was well-known, generous donors, respected figures in the community. Their name was everywhere, and Alexandra clearly believed that status followed her into my courtroom. She entered 20 minutes late, not fashionably late, but disrespectfully so. Her attorney hurried in, offering apologies, while Alexandra followed casually, as though she were entering a spa. Her heels echoed across the floor with deliberate rhythm, drawing attention. Designer bag, sunglasses still on, and a silk dress that screamed wealth. This wasn't courtroom attire, it was a statement. I let her reach her seat before speaking. Miss Whitmore, thank you for joining us. I assume there was a valid reason for your delay. She slowly removed her sunglasses, taking her time. Traffic was bad. You know how it is. No apology, just indifference. Her attorney quickly stepped in, apologizing again, but I focused on her. This is a courtroom, not a social event. When you are expected at 9 a.m., you arrive at 9 a.m. Do we understand each other? She gave a careless shrug. Sure. Behind her, the gallery was full, regular observers, a few reporters, and Maria Chen, the victim. A hospice nurse who had just come off a night shift, still in her scrubs, sitting quietly after everything she'd been through. I reviewed the file again, letting the silence stretch. When I looked up, Alexandra was on her phone beneath the table. Miss Whitmore, put the phone away. I'm checking something important. Nothing is more important than this proceeding. Put it away. She sighed dramatically and tossed it into her purse. Her attorney cleared his throat. Your Honor, my client has another commitment later today. Your client is facing serious charges. Unless that commitment is a medical emergency, she'll remain here until we're finished. Alexandra leaned toward her attorney, whispered something, then spoke aloud. With all due respect, this is kind of ridiculous. It was just a fender bender. My insurance will handle it. Just a fender bender. Meanwhile, Maria's car was totaled, her children shaken, her life disrupted. Let me be clear, I said, my tone sharpening. You caused significant damage, fled the scene, and now you're calling this ridiculous. Accidents happen. People are overreacting. Her attorney looked defeated. I pulled up the footage. The video showed everything clearly. Her car striking the minivan, Maria stepping out, checking her children, and Alexandra dismissing it all before driving away. Silence filled the room. Do you remember what you said to Miss Chen? Not really. I was stressed. The footage shows you calling her car junk. She smirked slightly. Well, it kind of was. Gasps filled the room. Even her attorney covered his face. I stood. Miss Whitmore, you watched yourself flee an accident, and your response is to insult the victim? I didn't mean it like that. Then explain. My car is nicer, so obviously the damage isn't a big deal. The logic was astonishing. So because your car is nicer, the damage matters less. Basically. Her attorney tried to intervene. Sit down, I said. I turned back to her. Tell me what happened that day. She spoke with irritation. I was late. I hit the wrong pedal. It was an accident. And when you saw children in the car, they looked fine. Kids cry about everything. Maria reacted quietly in the gallery. Those children were terrified, I said. That's not my fault. Their mom made it worse. The room erupted. You're blaming a mother for her children's fear after you hit them and left. Kids react how their parents react. I had seen many defendants in my years, but this was different. This was someone completely disconnected from consequences. After the incident, I continued, You went to your country club, had lunch, played golf, and didn't contact your insurance for 3 days. I needed time to process. While Miss Chen struggled to get to work and care for her children, that's what insurance is for. Which you didn't contact. I was busy. With what? My life doesn't stop because of this. Her record showed a pattern: speeding, violations, recklessness. This isn't your first offense. Everyone speeds. Not everyone runs from accidents. I didn't run. I left. Leaving the scene is a crime. She crossed her arms. My dad's lawyer said this would be dismissed. There it was. I decide what happens here. But with my family standing, stop. Your name, your money, your status, none of it matters here. Her confidence cracked. What do you mean? You are simply a defendant who broke the law. I reviewed the sentencing. With children involved, repeated behavior, and no remorse, the consequences increase. You can't be serious. I am. I picked up the victim statement. I'm going to read this. Maria's words filled the courtroom. Her fear, her children's trauma, the financial hardship, the sleepless nights. By the time I finished, Alexandra's hands were shaking. That is who you were that day, I said. I didn't know they were scared. You didn't stay long enough to find out. Her attorney tried to speak. Enough. I delivered the verdict. Guilty. The room leaned forward. 60 days in county jail. No alternatives. 1-year license suspension. 200 hours of community service at County General Hospital. Full restitution. She broke. You can't do this. I can. Her attorney protested. This sentence addresses a pattern. I looked at her one final time. What matters is not your schedule. It's the children can't sleep. The mother who was harmed, the lives you affected. Tears streamed down her face. Reality has caught up with you. I struck the gavel. Take her into custody. As officers approached, she turned to her father. He stood. You did this to yourself. She was led away. Maria stood later, steady and composed. My children needed to see fairness. That money doesn't excuse harm. Applause filled the room. I addressed the courtroom. This wasn't about wealth. It was about accountability. Her father approached. I failed in raising her. He offered support to Maria's children, not to reduce the sentence, but because it was right. Months passed. Alexandra served her time. At first, she resisted. Then something changed. Her service at the hospital brought her face to face with Maria. Slowly, she listened, learned. She chose to continue volunteering. She wrote letters of apology. 6 months later, she returned, not as a defendant. I thought you were unfair, she said. You saved me. You changed yourself, I replied. She planned to become a nurse. That is justice. Not punishment, but transformation. Maria's children began healing. Alexandra found purpose, and somewhere, a child learned that fairness still exists. That is why I sit on this bench.